He didn't run around defenders, he ran through them. And when Mike Alstott lowered his shoulder, entire stadiums leaned forward because they knew what was coming. This wasn't finesse, this wasn't flash, this was violence in motion, packed into a 6'1", 248-pound wrecking ball wearing number 40. He wasn't your typical running back. He wasn't your typical fullback either, because Mike Alstott wasn't built to fit the mold. He was built to break it. Mike Alstott came out of Joliet, Illinois with the kind of Midwestern grit you can't teach. He wasn't handed stardom. He earned it, one hit at a time. By the time he stepped onto the field at Purdue, coaches already knew this guy was different. In 3 years as a Boilermaker, Alstott racked up over 3,600 rushing yards and 39 touchdowns. But it wasn't just the numbers, it was how he got them. He broke tackles like they insulted him. He ran angry, determined. With a center of gravity so low, defenders had to dive just to get in the way, and even then they usually bounced off. Purdue used him like a running back. The Big Ten couldn't stop him, and NFL scouts weren't quite sure what to call him. Too big for a halfback, too dangerous to just block. He was a problem, and Tampa Bay wanted the problem. In the 1996 NFL Draft, the Buccaneers took Alstott in the second round, 35th overall. At a time when fullbacks were mostly lead blockers and short yardage role players, the Bucs saw something more. They saw a weapon. The league didn't know what to do with him, but Tampa Bay did. Mike Alstott wasn't asked to lead the block and disappear. He was handed the rock, thrown screens, sent through the line like a battering ram, and dared to create chaos. He wasn't just a hybrid, he was the first of his kind. A fullback with the hands of a receiver, the power of a linebacker, and the vision of a halfback. And from the moment he stepped on the field, he made defenses pay for underestimating him. He could explode through the A-gap and bury a linebacker on one play, then slip out for a 15-yard catch the next. One cut, one stiff arm, first down. He had a unique blend of shiftiness and brute strength. No wasted movement, no dancing, just pure, punishing, forward motion. You could hear it in the pads. When Alstott carried the ball, collisions sounded different. Helmets popped, bodies crumbled, the crowd felt it. And that's why he became a fan favorite so quickly. Not just in Tampa Bay, but across the NFL. Because Alstott ran like every carry mattered. He wasn't padding stats, he was punishing tacklers. And when you needed 2 yards, he gave you 5. Mike Alstott's career wasn't built on highlight reels. It was built on results, hard yards, dirty yards, and eventually record-breaking yards. In 158 career games, he rushed for 5,088 yards and added 2,284 receiving yards. That's 7,372 yards from scrimmage, most of it earned the hard way, between the tackles through traffic, and usually with at least 2 defenders trying to. It's the touchdowns that tell the story. 58 career rushing touchdowns, the most in Buccaneers history. 71 total touchdowns, the all-time franchise record. That includes goal line plunges, tackle-breaking marathons, and swing passes that he turned into pure chaos. Alstott is the first non-kicker in Bucs history to score over 400 points in a career. That's right, the only names near him on the all-time scoring list are place kickers. Everyone else, they're looking up at number 40.
He wasn't just bruising his way into the end zone, he was redefining the role of a fullback while doing it. And the league noticed Alstott was selected to the Pro Bowl 6 times, 6 straight from 1997 to 2002. During that stretch, he was also named first-team All-Pro 3 times and second-team All-Pro twice. He became the face of Tampa Bay football, not because he was flashy, but because he was fearless. He did the dirty work, he made clutch plays, he kept drives alive, kept chains moving, and kept defensive coordinators up at night. And for over a decade, he never stopped. Mike Alstott didn't just carry the ball, he carried the franchise. Through coaching changes, quarterback rotations, and offensive reboots, Alstott was the one constant in Tampa Bay's offense. And when the Bucs won, he was usually in the middle of it, literally. He played in 95 career victories, and here's the part that hits. He started 93 of them. Not a coincidence, not a fluke. Mike Alstott wasn't a stat-padding role player. He was a difference maker. Defenders knew it, coaches game planned around it, and teammates trusted it. When the Bucs hit the red zone, the playbook didn't need to get fancy. Just hand it to 40, let him do the dirty work. And in the postseason, he elevated. Alstott played in 8 playoff games, tied for second most in team history at the time. He won 5 of them, also tied for second most ever by a Buccaneer. And the most important run of all came in 2002. That season, Tampa Bay wasn't just a tough team. They were a machine, an elite defense, a gritty offense, and a fullback named Mike who refused to be denied. Alstott scored a touchdown in every round of the playoffs, including Super Bowl 37, where he punched in the first rushing TD of the game. It was vintage Alstott.
inside the 5, met at the line, and still somehow dragging defenders across the plane. The Bucs crushed the Raiders that night, but the moment fans still remember, that goal line dive, that pileup, that spike, that was Mike Alstott's exclamation point. He wasn't just along for the ride, he was fueling it. Powerbacks come and go, but none ever moved quite like Mike Alstott. He had the low center of gravity of a bowling ball and the footwork of a tailback. He surged, he slid through tiny cracks, then he exploded through contact. Tackling him was a process, not an event. First, you had to meet him in the hole, then hold on, then pray for help. Some did, most failed. Alstott's stiff arm became a signature, a straight arm punch that stopped defenders in their tracks. He wasn't outrunning corners, but he didn't need to. They bounced, they fell, he advanced. But he wasn't all brute force. He caught passes too, 305 receptions for his career. Screens, dump-offs, flat routes, he could do it all. And when he did, defenders found themselves one-on-one with a moving truck. He had elite balance, uncanny timing, and the kind of relentlessness that couldn't be taught. When Mike Alstott ran, it wasn't just about yards. It was about statement. And every run said the same thing: you're not stopping me. By the time Alstott reached the tail end of his career, the league was changing. The NFL had shifted fast. Spread offenses, no-huddle schemes, shotgun formations. Fullbacks were getting phased out, traded out, or left out entirely. It was no longer a league of collisions. It was a league of mismatches, speed and space. And the hard-nosed, shoulder-pad-cracking style Alstott brought to the field, it was becoming extinct. Teams weren't building around fullbacks anymore. They were replacing them with extra receivers or H-backs who could flex out wide. Even the best fullbacks in the league were seeing their snap counts drop. But Mike Alstott, he held on. He played through injuries. He adjusted his role. And in his final seasons, even as the offense evolved away from him, his presence still mattered. The fans knew it, the coaches knew it, the players on both sidelines definitely knew it. When he announced his retirement in 2007, it didn't just feel like a player stepping away. It felt like a position saying goodbye. Mike Alstott was more than the best fullback of his time. He was the last great fullback of any era. Ask anyone in Tampa Bay. Mike Alstott wasn't just a player. He was a symbol. The number 40 jersey still shows up at every Bucs game. Kids who weren't even born during his prime wear it like it's holy because it meant something. It meant grit, heart, effort, all the intangibles packed into one number, one player, one attitude. He retired holding nearly every meaningful offensive record for a non-quarterback in franchise history. Most rushing touchdowns, 58. Most total touchdowns, 71. Second most rushing yards, 5,088. Second most scrimmage yards, 7,372. First non-kicker to score 400 plus points. But numbers aren't the full story. His teammates speak about him like a warrior. Opponents call him one of the hardest players to tackle, ever. And fans, they just call him their favorite. He never chased the spotlight. He never demanded attention. He just lined up, lowered his shoulder, and fought for every inch. His success made room for players like Kyle Juszczyk and Lorenzo Neal, but truthfully, no one ever ran quite like Alstott because no one ever was quite like him. He made the impossible look routine. He made punishment look poetic. And most of all, he made the fullback position something worth watching again. Mike Alstott made sure no one forgot about him because you don't remember just the fast. You remember the unstoppable, and number 40 was exactly that.